You are now listening to the National Show with Gangsterville and McGee. The National Show, the National Show, the National Show, no show, no show. The National Show, the National Show, the National Show, no show, no show. All right, No Nation. This is the National Show with Gangsterville and McGee.
Hey, that's me.
If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you subscribe on our YouTube channel at National. That's at NATIONOLE. Make sure you check out our Linktree page with all of our links. That's National Show after Linktree, NATIONOLESHOW. Like, share, follow, add, tell a friend to tell a friend. Put us out there because we are putting the best news and up-to-dates out with Florida State football, college football, and sometimes sports in general. But anyway, enough of that, man. Super Bowl Sunday is coming up, man.
Big weekend.
Big game.
It's not the little game. It's the big game. It's not a little weekend. Right. It's a big weekend. All kinds of shit going on, bro.
Right.
But
we got 4 nose that's bowling.
I love that. We gotta talk about that. A certain Seminole won a certain award last night. We got to talk about that.
Yes,
right?
Sir.
But this is the first time that you and I are talking in a couple days, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, maybe a week and a half. We've done some texting. This is the first time we're talking.
Right.
I was just wondering, like, what's new? What's good? Anything going on in your world? Like, what's up? What's the news? What you been thinking about? What's going on?
Man, I know you probably done talked about it on maybe 2-3 other shows on there but I've been jumping for joy off of my Lakers, man. How about that Anthony Davis trade for Luka? That I have not been this excited as a Laker since Kobe Bryant was playing.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people listening and watching is like, oh, you got LeBron James. Well, my good friend McGee can tell you I've never been a LeBron James fan.
Honestly,
in my life, until he put on a Lakers jersey.
Honestly, I saw Luka play a few years ago when he first got in the league, and he reminded me of young LeBron. You know, he did a lot of the same things. The only thing you never see out of Luka is him chasing down the layup and blocking from behind the dunk. You know what I mean? That defensive hustle isn't in his bag. But other than that, he's got a lot of LeBron in his game. He sees the floor really well. Incredible passer. He'll get you assists. He'll get you points. I think it was a great trade. Obviously, it was a bit of a swindle. Now you're going to be able to extend and re-sign him at a cheaper number than it would have cost Dallas to do so. It sucks for him. I mean, he lost money in salary max, but he also is now paying an enormous tax rate that he wasn't paying in Dallas, right? It really sucks. So I really hope this works and the Lakers jersey helps him get some endorsement money both in LA and in Germany, right? Like and that way he can make up that bread because he's taken an L. But I think you, as a Lakers fan, and I think the Lakers organization, provided they do re-sign him and it all works out, and you know he does stick around for a while. I think it's great. It certainly rejuvenates. It certainly rejuvenates the fan base and the whole vibe of the team. Anthony Davis is not a bad basketball player. He's a great basketball player when healthy. Right, and I can't argue the fact that he misses a lot of games. Right, you're absolutely, you know, I know exactly how you feel on this one. He definitely misses a lot of games, but if he can have a run, I mean, it's a much shorter window. But for Anthony Davis, he has a better chance of winning, you know, today than he did a few days ago because that Lakers team, as constructed, wasn't going to win this year. And you know, everything has to work out perfectly. All 4 have to stay very healthy. But if those 4 older stars in Dallas all stay healthy and make a run, like you never know. They could make a big splash in the playoffs. They got a chance.
Everybody got what they wanted. Anthony Davis didn't want to play the 5 in LA, or what he's been playing in the last couple of years. He gets to play the 4 comfortably. In Dallas, the Lakers was missing offense. We got enough offense to last the next 10, 15 years now with Luka.
Well, and then the sneaky best part was the follow-up deal where you got the center from
Mark
Charlotte.
Williams. Yeah.
Now you've got a very complete roster, and so you're a threat. You're a threat. I'm not saying you're probably one of the 5 or 6 best teams in the West, which is, to be honest, there's not a team that really stands out amongst that 6. Right? Like there's not one great team in the West that everybody else is trying to keep up with. There's a top tier and then a lower tier, and you're in the top tier, man. You got a very complete roster.
Particularly one team I'm going to talk about is Denver. And that's why I like this trade that much more, is because
but they didn't get better.
As much as I appreciate what Davis has done in the past, he's never really done anything against Denver and Jokic consistently, or whatever.
Few have.
Few have. But Luka, you can guarantee you're gonna get those points, those threes, those clutch moments. So
it puts a lot of pressure on Porter and Jamal. Because Joker, even if you do have a good defensive 5, Joker still is an impact on the offensive side of every game, playoff, regular season, every time he's out there. It's always about what the rest of the team does. And with Denver didn't improve their roster. They just said, "Hey, let's go, man. We know us. Like we're running with this team." They didn't make any trades.
They got all Westbrook.
No. I mean at the trade deadline.
Oh, at the trade deadline.
Yeah, I'm talking about this week, right? With all this stuff. So ultimately, that's another team where everybody has to stay healthy. It has to work out. But Russell Westbrook and Michael Porter Jr. and Jamal Murray, in reverse order, are the ones that are the ones that are going to be responsible for this, because I have complete faith that Joker will be there, right?
Yeah.
And that's good. It's going to be a real stress on those 3 to keep up with a team that has, in the Lakers situation, that has LeBron and Luka on it, right? And it's going to be real tough for those 3 to deal with a team like Oklahoma City, or to deal with a team like even Houston that just you never know where the ball's coming from, right? It's going to be tough. Well, it's going to be tough. I'm less confident about the Nuggets than I have been in the last few years.
Yeah, West Coast just upgraded. Even Jimmy Butler to the Warriors, man. That adds a whole nother dynamic right there. So,
win now and a whole lot of fucking, hungry motherfuckers. There's like Steph Curry, who's sweet little, chess playing, choir boy, and like everybody behind him are just like Rottweiler kind of guys that are, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's an interesting this is an interesting iteration of the Warriors. It's if all of these guys were 2 years younger, they would be a real threat. They'd be a real threat.
Right.
Now we're just kind of hoping they got it in them. All right, man. Well, we could talk about basketball all day, but this is the national show, so we should be talking about Seminole stuff, right? We should be talking about Florida State Noles, right? So let's talk about some Noles, because last night, big news. Big
news.
And I'm going to have to run over to the Hard Rock, take these 2 little pieces of paper. The fact is, Jared Verse of the Los Angeles Rams, rookie defensive lineman, really, really impressive rookie year. Kind of knew if he stayed healthy, he had the chance to win the award, and he indeed stayed healthy all season. And it didn't hurt that the Rams had some losses early, so those last couple games were really important to make the playoffs. So he stayed active in week 16, week 17, week 18, right? They weren't 2 games ahead of everybody else and resting the starters. That helped. Because he ended the regular season strong. But shout out to Jared Verse for being Defensive Rookie of the Year. D-Roy. Right. We should have some fanfare. We're going to need to work on that, bro. When we give somebody
the amount of talent that was missing out of our bowl game last year, man. Like we had defensive rookie of the year wasn't playing, man. Come on now.
Well, and multiple wide receivers that are rookies in the NFL this year, and there was just a lot of guys that sat out, and I completely understood. Those decisions, completely understood.
Oh yeah.
After the way last year went, I get it. They weren't in the right mindset to go play a football game. Period. And if you're not ready, you get hurt. So I get everybody who has even thinks for a second maybe I should sit the fuck out, because if you're not 100% ready to go, you're gonna get hurt.
Yeah. Even like Cam Ward this year, I think he got a lot of rap for not sitting out the second half or whatever. But like, fuck that, man. If that's your decision, if you want to be, y'all should have been happy that he played a half to begin with.
Y'all motherfuckers should be happy he came to your fucking school for that year.
Right.
I hope you enjoy the Carson Beck experience, Miami. I hope you enjoy the Carson Beck experience.
It might not be like the Cam Ward one, but we'll see.
Fuck no, it has no chance to be like the Cam Ward experience. It's like the exact opposite. You had a hungry motherfucking I'm gonna go fucking get it. One of the best football players, a guy who deserves to be one of the top picks in the draft. And then you kind of have a spoiled brat on the other side who doesn't know what fucking hunger really is. You know what I mean? He good, man. He good.
He's coming for the check.
He good. He already got a rich wife.
He
already got a rich wife. Oh man. So I can't wait to start talking shit about Miami, but that's not today's not the day for that. Today's not the day for negativity towards the others. Today's the day for positivity towards our guys. You know?
There you go.
We are celebrating. So shout out to Jared Verse. We have to get us, national show. We need some sort of fanfare. When we give like salutations, when we, say shout out to somebody, we need some sort of like confetti drop in or balloons or, some sort of horn. We need some sort of I don't know. We'll figure it out. Maybe a sound effect. We'll sounder. We'll trigger button. Something. We'll figure it. Oh, wait a minute. You and I just had a conversation off air via text about a certain sound effect, which would go perfect every time we give anybody credit. We can do.
Yeah.
It's like a cosign. It's like a little amen. From I love it. All right, we're gonna work on that. See, we, the national show, constantly working on getting better for your entertainment. Right? For your entertainment. I'm pointing at the microphone. I should be pointing at the camera. For your entertainment. Right?
Yep.
There's big plans. We got stuff. We cooking, baby. Tell your friends. Get locked in now. All right. So, big game, bro. Big game.
Hell yeah.
Both teams have 2 Seminoles on their roster. Yes, yeah. Pretty fucking cool, huh? It's just becoming a standard. It's just becoming regular. I say it in basketball all the time. You don't really have, the teams that are really have a chance. They got 1 out of the 12 guys went to Florida State. There's something about it. They bring a vibe. You know what I mean? There's Charlie Ward showed up and the Knicks got real nasty, right? Shit like that. Even Bobby Sura made an impact on the Cavs. Who makes an impact on the Cavs before pre-LeBron James?
Right.
It was him and Mark Price. Right? It's amazing. So I love, but it all comes out of the football tradition, right? Every year almost. 59. This is the 59th. This is the 59th Super Bowl.
Yeah, with basketball, a lot of that goes to Leonard Hamilton, I think. Since he took over, man, we've been just popping him into the league. Shout out to him. Whenever his last years, whether this year, next year, this is it, or whatever. Shout out Coach Hamilton. Yeah. We appreciate everything. I was lucky to be, a student there whenever he first came.
23 years.
Damn.
This is his 23rd season as a coach. He was on the Celtics with McHale and all them, right?
For real?
I think he was. I think he had a year or 2 on the Celtics as a player. I'm not. Don't quote me on that. I remember him as a kid from coaching the Wizards. Because I grew up in D.C.
So did. Wow. You went back with that one.
He played for the Celtics, right?
I have no clue, bro.
Oh no, but I remember him from. I just remember as a coach of the Wizards because I was a kid. I lived there. I was in DC.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Fucking salute, dude. You did a good job, brother. You did a real good job, and you're definitely leaving Florida State basketball in a better place than you found it.
Way better than it was before he got here, because we wasn't even nowhere near the map when he.
That's right. We got a lot of pro athletes that have come out of Florida State. Basketball players, obviously football players, right? There's a couple. I think there's a couple chicks in the WNBA, or women in the WNBA. There's definitely golfers.
Few baseball players.
Baseball players. It's exciting. I bet you there's a soccer player or two somewhere on some team in Europe. Something cool. Right. Or there might be
definitely
one in
women's soccer.
I was going to say there's probably one or two in the NWSL.
Yeah.
Interesting conversation. We should have this conversation again sometime. But
definitely should.
That being said, this football game this weekend, both teams have two guys. Right? So let's talk about the Eagles. Right?
Yep.
The Eagles got two guys. Sweat, right, is a defensive lineman. All right, and our guy Johnny Wilson,
rookie year.
Yeah, I guarantee the text thread between he and Keon Coleman is a little nasty right now, but it's really cool that they're both impactful.
Both landed in very perfect situations. Keon Coleman in a spot where they're looking for a stud to step out, and he's going to have an open slot for the next couple of years to be able to bloom and blossom. And then you got Wilson. He gets drafted to Philly with their number one receiver is typically him, big bruiser, type person or whatever. So you get to learn from one of the best doing it in the league, right?
Yep. So and veterans all around the locker room.
Yeah.
Right. Like that's exactly who you want to surround a guy, who has the talent and the ability, but maybe didn't, achieve everything he was hoping to achieve in college. Right. You need him to show up and be surrounded by the guys that are like, listen, you have everything, everything it takes as long as you put in the work and then you demonstrate how to put in the work. This is that team. That lunch pail as motherfucker. You know what I mean? They go to work every day from top down, from Howie Roseman all the way down to everybody, on training staff and managers and stuff, and especially the players and all the fans. That's a blue collar situation, and it's perfect for him. It's perfect for him.
Oh yeah,
perfect for him. And we talked about that. Remember after they both got drafted, we did a podcast that it was before we were on video. It was just a podcast, and we were talking about how perfect it was for both of them. Or maybe it was one of our first ones on video. I don't know, but we discussed it. It's exciting.
I definitely remember it. Yeah, man.
And then the other side, Nadi is probably getting bored with this, right? I get it last year. Although last year he was on the IR, so he might be extra motivated this year. Right? I could imagine that. It probably means a little more after he didn't have it. It was out of reach last year. So, but he still got a ring, still on the roster. Still
contributed to the ring. If not for him, they may not have been there. From the season contributions that he put to the team. So
yeah, man, serious. 4 rings is pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I think he'll be the second Florida State player with 4 rings. If he gets it, I think. I don't know. I'd have to go back to the research. I wasn't looking for that, when I was looking into the research for this game. But I think that I read somewhere that if he gets this, he'll be the second Florida State player with 4 Super Bowl rings. The other dude he's on the practice squad for the Chiefs, but I think they get rings too.
Yeah.
I think they get rings. They definitely are considered Super Bowl winners. They're definitely considered Super Bowl winners. Is Fabian Lovett Sr.
Yep, Fabian Lovett.
I don't know. It never hurts to stockpile good defensive tackles. I don't know if he's going to be a practice squad guy forever, or if he's going to go back and forth maybe a little bit, or get some run with the first team someday, or or at least be a regular backup. I hope he does. He's always been an easy guy to root for.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, he's playing his dream. And not only are you playing your dream, you're in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It's, whether he never makes a roster again, he's lived it up and did it up and represented hard and well.
Yeah. Well, Florida State Seminoles. That's something to sell recruits and transfers. Hey, man. Listen, 43 out of the 59 Super Bowls have had a Seminole on a roster. Has had a Seminole in it, right? Mm-hmm. Like, this is the 13th straight Super Bowl with a Seminole on them in the game. And it's going to be the 9th straight year that a Seminole has been on the winning Super Bowl team. Super Bowl winning team.
How amazing is that, man?
Like, if I'm a kid and Coach Norvell shows up and he was like, "What's your dream?" "Oh, you want to go to the Super Bowl someday?" Look at our track record. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of schools that can't say that, bro. Very few schools that can walk into a room and have any of this, drop any of this on the table. And then, what's interesting is because we know that 2 Noles are going to get a ring this year, no matter who wins, right? Mm-hmm. It's going to go up to a total number of 50 Super Bowl rings won by a Florida State guy. Like a Florida State alumni has won 50 Super Bowl rings. That's pretty cool.
Dope. That's dope.
It's pretty cool. And then there's 2 right? And then there's 2 MVPs. And then there's 2 Super Bowl MVPs. Fred Biletnikoff and Dexter Jackson.
Okay.
Dexter Jackson.
Oh, that's right. With Tampa Bay way back. Yeah.
Well, that's our buddy's older brother, too. So shout out to the whole family. Shout out to the whole family, man. Shout out to the whole family. And shout out to the city of Quincy. I don't know if it's a city or a town. I was about to say that. Yeah. Is Quincy a town or a city? I think it's a city. Shout out to Quincy, Florida.
Yep.
All right. Now, I got one big question. And then we'll talk about the Super Bowl a little bit. All right. But I got one big question. Mm-hmm. So as I've mentioned, 2 defensive tackles for the Chiefs from Florida State. 1 defensive end playing for the Eagles going to the Super Bowl from Florida State. Last night's announcement that Defensive Rookie of the Year is Jared Verse, a defensive lineman from Florida State University. Mm-hmm. Are we D-line you or what?
I think that goes without saying, man. Yeah, hell yeah, we are, bro. Like, I mean, you can give Georgia credit for recently, last 4 or 5 years, but if you want to look at consistency for like the last 20 years, bro, I can go through era to era. Alex Brown,
just Bjorn Werner.
Yeah.
I can go off the board and blow your mind.
Bunkley, you know what I'm saying? Like
we could do this. I love this game.
Yeah. We've had defensive linemen seem like go to the league almost every year from our school. So, and not just go in, but go in and like produce like starters, Super Bowl champions. You know what I mean? Not just defensive linemen. I would say the defense in general. Defensive line, linebackers, cornerbacks, safeties. We just spitting them out, man. Them out. I was looking at the Pro Bowl footage and stuff from the Pro Bowl games or whatever, and thinking about all the no's that's participating in there. Derwin James and just the list goes on, man. So hell yeah. One thing we can do is pop them out. But what I'm glad to see is Norvell is able to do it now with the way the NCAA is now. And I want to say that kind of started with, who is that? Number 11 plays for the Jets right now. Johnson. I forget his name, but that was one of our first biggest transfers on defense. Stars that came out. And after him, it's just, Jared Verse was right after him. He ended up staying another year.
Alabama or Buffalo? I don't remember. He transferred from a small school, Jared.
Yeah.
Somewhere in New York.
Yeah. But yeah, just always finding that talent and being able to keep that tradition going in today's environment. Says a lot. Yes, says a lot.
We are the pathway.
Yep.
It's exciting. It's very exciting. All right. Well, listen. Let's talk about the Super Bowl. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We have not discussed this before the show or anything like that. Mm-hmm. Right now, depending,
give y'all the best juice.
Absolutely. we don't like to burn the good material. That's what it's all about. If you like the Chiefs, you can bet them at -1. And if you like the Eagles, you can bet them at +1.5, right? It's that way. Mm-hmm. Extra half point. If they lose by 1, you win, right?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about this game?
Honestly, I don't think it's gonna be close. I just don't see it. Yeah.
There's only wait. Before you say another word, let me guess. There's only one team that I can imagine wins by 10 points. Right? Like, I can't see. It's not like I'm going into this like, oh, either team could blow the other team out. Like, I personally think it'll be a relatively close game, but but I can only imagine one team running away with it. So if you're telling me you don't think it's even going to be close, can I guess who you think is going to win?
Yes.
I think you think the Philadelphia Eagles are going to win this game.
Mm-hmm. There you go. Bingo. Only reason I say this, I'm going to start to the top. Saquon Barkley. He is all that in a bag of chips, bro. That last game that I saw, the way that Kansas City couldn't stop the run in that game really, really made me take a step back, because I was on the Patrick Mahomes juice and the, third Super Bowl and, Andy Reid and all of that, bro. But when you just sit down and look at X's and O's, it's just pure football. Kansas City offense really is just, a tight end and a quarterback making magic. Philadelphia's offense is diverse. They can throw the ball on you deep, short, anywhere on the field, and they can run the ball on you between the tackles, outside the tackles. And
that's the reason they can throw. It's because they can run.
Yeah. And he can catch the ball out the backfield. Not mentioning they have a way better defense. It's probably going to be the best defense that Kansas City's seen in the whole playoffs. So yeah, I'm going Philly on this one, and yeah.
I mean, I don't really listen to the guy's music anymore because he's been canceled. But there's a pretty famous song, that kind of describes where I'm at, right? Like sometimes where there's a disconnect between your mind and heart. Sometimes there's something you think, like I think I should probably go home and hang out with my wifey, right? And have a chill night. Mm-hmm. But sometimes you might want go to the bar and have another rounder for it, and maybe send some texts you shouldn't be sending, and stuff like that, right? Right. I get it, right? Sometimes there's that. You feel one way, but you think one thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think the Eagles are the better team and the better roster and etc. But I feel like Andy Reid is the better coach, and that the Chiefs have done this, and that counts for something, right? The Chiefs are used to the triple length of the halftime. They're used to the fanfare around this game. And I know the Eagles were just there 2 years ago, but still... Not all of them, but still most of them. Most of them were just there.
I want to say it's more of the Eagles that was there 2 years ago than the Chiefs.
That's interesting.
Impact players, definitely.
Yeah. That's interesting. But I mean, we also want to factor in everybody on the staff and stuff like that, and like just the the whole movement, right? It's hard for me to say I don't think the Chiefs are going to win the Super Bowl. Or any Super Bowl. Like, it's really like I bet against Patrick Mahomes and hit big on the Buccaneers here.
Oh yeah. Ooh,
other than that, I've been right. I've always been right on him, betting on him, right? So like I it's hard to find. I know there's going to be times to fade him. Maybe this is the time. It's just really hard. It's just
example though. That is a prime example when he lost to Tom. Why did he lose to the Buccaneers? Why? Because there was more talent on the other side of the field.
There was that offense. Right? That offense. The Bucs offense was crazy, and we had
even that defense.
There was a polar bear running fucking go routes from the tight end position. Like it was amazing.
And who do we have at running back? Mm-hmm. And what could they not stop?
I wish.
You see what I'm saying? It's literally a repeat of this year's Super Bowl, bro. And I get it. Andy Reid is gonna get every checkbox from me when it comes to coaches.
Yeah,
but players play the game, and on the roster, Philly is stacked with far more talent than Kansas City has.
I think
across the boards.
So too. I think so too, but I still think it's really hard to bet against Kansas City. Like to actually walk up to the window and like I'm gonna go collect these, and of course I'm just gonna be like, so how about we put some of this right back in play, right? And like I'm literally like gonna be at the window, but it's so hard. So
and how long has it been since a team has won 3 straight Super Bowls? I don't think
anybody ever has.
Right. So, that's what I'm saying. It's too much going against them this year, bro.
Dude, it's very rare that a team wins 3 straight championships in any sport. It's happened a couple times in basketball. You know, like the Lakers have done it, and I bet the Celtics have done it, and obviously the Knicks. Didn't the Knicks do it fucking back in the day? No, I don't think they ever did. And then the Heat, obviously.
Yeah.
Or the Heat went for it.
No,
they didn't win it. They went for the 3-peat at the end. Yeah. It's hard, man. It's hard in any sport to win 3 in a row.
Yeah.
A couple baseball ones, probably. Right? There's probably a Yankees one or two, and a Dodgers one or two, or whatever, right? Like there's probably a couple baseball ones. I don't know if there's any hockey ones. I don't really watch it or pay attention.
Right.
But maybe. Shout out to anybody who's won their fucking anything 3 times in a row. If you won a spelling bee 3 years in a row, I'm really fucking impressed. You know what I mean? If you won a rec league softball game, against against your rival 3 years, I mean, whatever it is, I'm fucking impressed. Now, while I'm saying it's hard for me to bet on this because I'm just scared. Okay, that's it. I get it. Scared money don't make money. I agree with you. And yet I'm scared to put money where my mouth is, right?
Yeah. It's because of the Mahomes magic. And
fuck yeah.
And Kelce. I'm not taking nothing away from Mahomes and Kelce. I still think that he's going to work his magic, get his stats and everything or whatever. But I just feel when you can dominate the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball, Philly could could come away with
that's the name of the game.
2/3 of the time clock in their favor just by how they can run the ball and stuff or whatever. And that alone, if you reduce the amount of time that Patrick Mahomes has the ball in his hands, it increases your chance of winning the game. And Philly is more equipped to do that than any team that Kansas City has seen. So that's why I'm so confident in them. And then just the look at the year that Kansas City's been having. Like it reminds me of the year Auburn had when we played them in the championship with Jameis Winston. Remember all that look? Oh my God! Oh, the field goal kick running back. That's been the year that Kansas City's been having, bro.
You're right. They've held on for a lot of those wins. A lot of those wins were close, but that's always been their thing. They've always won close. They rarely. In fact, all these Super Bowls they've won, all the Super Bowls they've won, they've been down double digits in all 3 of the Super Bowls that they've won. Now, if you're down double digits to this Eagles team, I can't imagine they're just gonna keep the ball and run the ball and run the ball and run the ball, and it's gonna work and it's gonna work, and they're either gonna add to their lead or at least eat up 6 minutes from the clock and just limit your opportunity to score and get back in the game. So I feel like you're right. Still, it's very hard to put the money in the mouth where my mouth is. I don't know. I'm just scared. I'm scared of Andy Reid, really. Yes, Patrick Mahomes, and yes, Kelce.
I'm more scared of Patrick Mahomes than Andy Reid. No disrespect to Andy Reid, but
Yeah. Don't you dare disrespect Andy Reid.
Yeah, at all. He's one of my greatest coaches ever, man. I've been following him way back with Donovan McNabb.
Yeah. And he was on the Brett Favre Packers coaching staff.
Yep.
So you think that I heard you say that you think Mahomes and Kelsey are going to get stats and they're going to have a game. You just think the Eagles are going to do much better. Do you think it's going to be a situation where they trade some points for a while and then one team runs away with it in the second half, or something similar to that? Is that how you're envisioning it? Do you think it's going to be a high scoring affair?
I don't think it'll be high scoring because I think Philly's going to eat that clock up, and I think it's going to come down to Philly being able to run the ball, eat the clock up, and score, and then Kansas City not being able to score every possession that they have or whatever. Like they may kick a field goal or do that or whatever, and they don't have. No disrespect to Xavier Worthy, he's a great guy, whatever, but he's just not that clear cut number one receiver. He, you know what I mean, like. They don't have anything outside of Kelsey. They can't drive that ball deep down the field to get that quick score. Philly can. They got the little fast receiver from Alabama that can get down there and get you 50, 60 yards easily. They got the big, tough wide receiver that can catch it across the middle and do whatever. They got the tight end. They got defensive linemen galore. That's that not only a good defensive line, they got a good 3 or 4 to back up their defensive line. They got guys that they could just rotate. So I feel like we're going to see the difference is in the late third, early fourth quarter, games on the line. You're tired. You have to do these drives.
Pull away late.
Right.
Do you think so? You think both teams are going to score some points, though?
Yeah, definitely. Both teams are going to score some points. So the
over-under, I bet the over-under already. I went under 49.5. The number I'm seeing now is 48.5, which is weird because there's more money on the over. It's weird that it went down. But the way I look at it is there's a lot. It's a weird game. You know what I mean? Like there's a long time between you warming up and you actually kicking off. There's an extra long halftime. Like that's strange for some players. And sometimes the teams start the first and second halves a little slow. And then again, I like you, I know that the Eagles are going to run the ball a lot. Although I think a lot of those runs end in touchdowns. I still think that I still went under 49.5. Also largely because I like fading the public, and I saw that all the money was coming in on the over. But
I feel the only way Kansas City could really turn the ball in their hands is turnovers, and I just don't feel like they have enough on defense to get those turnovers.
They could get 1 or 2. I mean, Hurts.
You put that way, but Hurts went left out the last Super Bowl, and they said for the whole last year he had his phone saved with the picture of him sitting on the sidelines with all of that Kansas City confetti and shit coming down. Yeah. So when you think about a person with that much determination, he's like, I'd be damned if I get up there, you know what I'm saying, and I hurt my team in this situation. Saquon Barkley is a vet, so I don't see him fumbling the ball or doing something like that or whatever, turning the ball over. And even their receivers, like they're not known for drops and turnovers and stuff or whatever. So it's just only way I see it is if the refs put their hand in it.
Listen to you.
That's the only way I see it.
The Lakers fan is talking about fucking stars getting calls.
My Lakers have never gotten.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. All right, man. Well, any thoughts on Kendrick Lamar, or like what are you doing for the Super Bowl? Are you cooking it up? Are you going out? Like what's up? What's last kind of Super Bowl thoughts, and then let's wrap this up.
Definitely got to put some wings on the grill, man. I don't trust nobody.
Oh
wings,
man, I'm coming out to your place. Trying to
fly out. Might have to order a pizza, put some wings on the grill. Definitely looking forward to this halftime show. Not only to see Kendrick Lamar perform, but I'm interested to see who else comes out. I'm hoping he brings Lil Wayne out with it being in Louisiana or whatever. Probably not going to happen, but either or, whatever we get is going to be dope. Kendrick Lamar is by far one of the most creative artists that we have.
Brilliant booking by Jay-Z and Roc Nation. There's no other artist that he could have booked that would have kept the entire world talking for 4 months since the announcement. The way this booking, impact, it was just brilliant, like chef's kiss to Jay-Z or whoever Jay-Z empowered to make that decision. Just brilliant.
Oh no, the decision is his. The NFL already said it.
It's his and staff, right? Somebody we don't know. Somebody walked in the room and said, "Hey, what if we did?" You know, and if that was Jay-Z, awesome. If that was somebody that Jay-Z has empowered to be in that room, that's awesome too. Whatever it is, whoever was the first person to say, yo, it's in New Orleans. What if we booked K-Dot? Like, that motherfucker deserves a raise because that guy gets it. He gets it. He understands that pop culture and hip-hop is fucking wrestling. And that motherfucker gets it. Dude.
Yep. So it's going to be dope.
Yeah.
It's definitely going to be dope.
It's cool. This would have been a good one to go to. New Orleans is a great town. Man,
yeah.
Great town.
I just heard it was under lockdown just because of the they had that little incident that happened with the bowl game or whatever before the bowl game.
Yeah, I mean it's also
is out there now.
It's also the site of some really shitty shit over the years. Right, like some really bad things have happened in New Orleans, but also it's like the most integral place for American music evolution, right? Like everything, you trace it all back, baby. You trace it all back, and it all happens in there. Everything that happened there, and it's been beautiful. And all the different trajectories have done different things, and it's been, but NOLA is important. So,
Gotta love it, man.
Gotta love it. All right, so listen, I'm gonna hop on one of the apps and look at flight times and see about what time I'm gonna land. I'll let you know what time I land in Tucson, so you know exactly when to turn on the grill and get it all hot.
Some of these wings.
Yeah. Don't worry, you don't have to come get me or nothing. I can grab an Uber, or I'll holler at a Turo. I'll pick up a Turo or something.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. So I'll be there. Cool. Yeah, man. I'm gonna go bet the under, and then I might do a little parlay with the under in Philadelphia Eagles. I think that's my play.
Yeah, I'm thinking I may even put a bet on Philly being the first to score.
That's a good one. That's a good one. There's great. You can get great odds by picking the exact touchdown for whoever gets the exact one. Or anytime touchdowns are always a lot of fun. But, look at Jalen Hurts for the first touchdown. Maybe it's a brotherly shove right into the end zone.
Right.
Right? That'd be a good one.
Yeah.
Also, when you're doing that, look at A.J. Brown. Right? Look at somebody, or maybe on the Chiefs are interesting because you can get a longer number. They kind of spread the ball around a little bit. Like if it's not Kelsey, it could be anybody. Maybe look at Juju Smith-Schuster or one of those types of players, and you can get a long number. And you never know, man. All of a sudden, a couple minutes into the game, Juju gets a fucking touchdown. Nobody expected it, and you're sitting there with a fucking huge ticket. You're like, oh, the rest of this is a fucking, a free roll now. So I love that. God, I love the Super Bowl. I can't wait to get to the casino and start looking on the little kiosk and all the different options. Oh.
Yeah, I might have to roll up the other day. Shit.
All right, man. Let's wrap this up. I got shit to do and bets to make. All right.
There it is.
The National Show is co-produced by Broham and BYAPN. BYAPN. Bet Your Ash Podcasting Network. It is available on YouTube. The channel is at National, NATIONOLE. And if you prefer it as an audio product, you can check it out at betyourash.com or in the Bet Your Ash feeds on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. If you're listening on one of those platforms, always, like, rate, all those things. Really helpful. Share, review. Super helpful. Follow and subscribe, obviously. Also, we have Linktree. That'll show you all the links, all the socials, all the everything. It is /National Show, NATIONOLESHOW. Gangstaville also has a Linktree. You should go to that one. It is /GAINSTAVILLE And there you can find links to all of his socials, and you can find links to platforms where you can stream his music. You should definitely check out the latest album, The Desperado Code. Listen to it on all the different platforms, and then like it on all of those platforms. That is the best way to support your friends that make music, if you have any. And am I forgetting anything?
Nope, that's it.
I think so. I think I got it all. All right, well, if I forgot anything, oh well. Go Noles.
Go Noles.
And you have just finished listening to The National Show.